Why does your Node.js application failed over production? And whenever you raise ticket or chat with your hosting providers, they keep asking you to upgrade your server. This is only the solution they have. They are not gonna do any debugging for you. They are not gonna suggest anything. They're just simply chasing you to upgrade your application. If you are 8 GB, they will say you have to upgrade at least to the 16 GB to survive this application to their server. Namaste and welcome to Tech Tales with Abhi, and today we will talk about how exactly PM2 orchestration is working over production for any Node.js application, and how the correct architecture and the correct hosting provider saves yours thousands of dollars for a production. This is not all about your heavy server. This is all about your correct configuration for the application. So be with me. We are going to talk and debug and dig. Okay, so be on my screen, and here you can see most Node.js based server power. Let's say if you have a monorepo with multiple node services, let's say your one API services which is running on port 3001, and that service is using one process, another one auth services that is only using single process, and notification that is running over 3003 but still running on single process. So each service run as a single process, only one CPU core used per service. Server has multiple cores but stays underutilized, high traffic, slow response, and bottlenecks. In next slide we will understand how to exactly. In this image you can understand. So let's say this is the core grid and your entire application is using single core default Node.js architecture. This is default Node.js architecture. So let's say if you are using 8 GB, 4 core of CPU, this will remain same. You are going to use single core. Then why you are using 4 core CPUs? In the next slide, we are going to check the problem architecture. Let's say this is again 3001, core 1 active, core 2 idle, core 3 idle, core 4 idle. There is entire load on core 1. The outcome will be slow, CPU wasted, no scaling. Let's say here we are talking about your service provider is saying you have to upgrade your server. Let's say I'm saying you are using 4 GB and you have upgraded to the 8 GB. Again, you are using single core services. How it resolved your problem? This won't resolve your problem. Then in the modern deployment, you can say that here you can see this is the architecture of the multiple core servers, but still no profit for this. Multiple node service deployed, Node.js process, API auth notify, each service trapped in a single process, only one CPU core used per service. And how you trapped? Let me show you. So this is the single thread trap. Let's say one day you have one ad campaign is going on and you have a suddenly 1,000 users coming to your application. They are going to purchase something, they are going to sign up on your application. And again, if this is a single thread process, then sequential processing, this will be a single process. The outcome will be slow response, the bottleneck. Sometimes user will not able to browse your application, they will face the error, timeout, or you can say the application is not proper responding. To solve all the scenarios, all of the issues, this new PM2 to run multiple processes per services. This is the solution. The correct PM2 architecture is the solution, not scaling your server. How this will solve your problem? Let's say PM2 is the process which is managing all of the services. Each service run multiple workers. That PM2 is going to use all of your CPUs, all of your idle resources, which let's say there are 4, only one, all the 3 cores you are going to use, high availability, auto restart, on crashes, 0 downtime. So let's say API services, there's a 4 API services going on, 3001, auth services, 2 services is going on 3002, and notify services is going on 3003. So all of the core is smartly using from PM2. PM2 orchestration, you can see there's a node workers 1, 2, 3, 4, and the incoming traffic will be balanced based upon PM2 service. So this is the solution. Here is the solution architecture. You can see there's a PID 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the workers. And let's say for one services, which I can say there is a lot of load, so I can assign 4 workers. For authentication services, we have assigned 2 workers. And for notification services, we have assigned 2 workers again. So Core 1 will be utilized 92%, let's say. Core 2 will be utilized 87%, Core 3 will be utilized 78%, and Core 4 will be utilized 83%. So 100% utilization of cores will be managing from PM2. This is, we can say, the optimized solution for Node.js. Here you can, this is monorepo mapping in practice. Upcoming, I'm going to show, I have created one application where is a 3 port services we are going to run over production. Let's say one service is going to 3001, 3002, and 3003. This is the solution, not the hosting provider say it always. Please upgrade your server and this will resolve your issues. Sometime a customer came to me and said that I have a 32 GB of server, still my customer complains me, the API response are slow, my pages are not loading, cart page are not working, while checkout, the customer is not able to make a payment. So this is all because your Node.js application using single core. So here you can see the real example. You can see better performance, needs CPU based, production ready, simple deployment. Yes, another problem I have faced. Let's say I have this 3 port services. I have application. I'm going to use render or you can say railway. These are the popular deployment tool. But somewhere they will clone the application, but they are not smartly assigned that those workers to my port. I found one provider which I was working while deployment. This is very easy and easy to configure, and support is amazing. If I'm talking about support, their engineer is brilliant. They have given me a proper solutions, not just saying upgrade your application. So first, if you can see, here is my Node.js application. There is, you can see there is a chat service which is running on one cluster. This is instance 2, and this part is running on 3010, and another booking service which is running on 3011, and the third one, the finance service, which is running on 3012. I'm going to run this on my local machine. Here you can see localhost 3001. Okay, I'm sorry, not 3011, that is for demo. So 3001, this is for localhost I'm talking about. Worker ID single, process ID, and here you can see my application is running around 3001. If I'm talking about the chat services, this is running on again on 3000, and the finance service running on 3002. Here you can see 3001, 3000, and 3002. All of the 3 services are running on a single worker ID, process ID. You can see 466, 448, and 443. Okay, now we are going to deploy the same application to production, and let's see how PM2 helped me to do. So I'm going to logged in my server. Here you can see I'm going to go here. I have to so I have logged into my console. I need to go here. I need to add application. Here you can choose Node.js multiprocess, with PM2 cluster mode, and here I'm giving the application Node chat service. Add application. It will take 2 minutes to install and set up PM2 orchestration, Nginx, every whatever service is required at a background. The application will be ready in next 2 minutes, and then after we will set up and deploy this application to production. This is very simple. So application is going to installed. Meanwhile, let me open my URL. Here is my GitHub applications deployed. This is my Node.js demo project. And what I need to do, installation has been completed in some time. Okay. Here you can see Node chat service. This application has been ready. Now I'm into the application administrative screen. This is too simple to deploy your application. There will be no confusion going on with the other, you can say the providers. This is the support document which is saying, let's say your application has been ready. Then after you are here into application console. Then after, you need to go to your GitHub. You need to copy the URL. This is the SSH URL. You go here, you have to copy the URL, SSH URL, just copy. And then after, you need to go to code delivery, and then after, you will get the Git deployment part where you need to clone your repository. I need to go to code delivery. Then after, you can see there is a Git deployment. You have just to click on enable Git integrations. After Git integrations, there is a one step which we have to do, which is there will be one SSH key. This SSH key you need to copy, and then after, you need to go to your GitHub account. You need to go to settings, and then after, under settings, you will get this SSH and GPG key. You need to click here, new SSH key. You need to paste this key, and here you need to do Cloudbean Node.js. You just need to give the name so that your repository will be authenticated directly. You don't need to be put username and password. I need to verify via email. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'll get this email here. Okay, my SSH key has been added. Now I need to go to again here, close, and here you can see the Git repository URL. Again, I need to go to my repository, click here, and SSH, I need to copy this and put here. Once this, you have to paste it this URL, you need to click here to authenticate this GitHub URL. Once this will be authenticated, your branch updated successfully. It means the application will ask you which branch you want to clone. I have only one main branch as of now, so I need to be click on main branch. Deployment path, I need to be keep it blank because I want a default path which is provided from a Cloudbean. So now I need to click here. This is clone repository. Cloning will deploy repository files to your selected deployment path, which is Node.js src branch main. This is the confirmation, and I need to click on clone. Once I click on cloning, it will clone my repository. My GitHub repository has been cloned now. Now, what you need to do, your repository is cloned, but there is a few configuration you need to do as per the documents, which is once this is in progress, but we have to update this bean.config.json file. You just need to click on pull and deploy. So when you click on pull and deploy, there will be a one bean.config.json file will be created. So let me show you. Here you are a file manager. Go to file manager. And then after, under the file manager, you can see there is one bean.config.json file. Now this is a key file. Why this is a key file? Because this will configure your PM2, means which PM2 is going to assign which services. Let's say, let me open this bean.config file. There is a one application which is by default here. Name, you need to give the name. You need to give the port. Let's say this application port is 3020. By default, Cloudbean assigned one port, which is 3020. If you want to see the port, you need to go here, app setting. Under the app setting, you can see this is your application port. So the same port here, bean.config.json. And this array is for a single application. Let's say you have one monorepo, you have 10 applications. So you have to create 10 apps at the same file, and those will be assigned to the particular port. How it will do? Let me show you. I have created that config file. What I did, let me show you. First, I have one service which is chat. So chat service.js. This was the file in my local. I can show you. Here you can see there is a file which is chat service.js. This is the service I'm going to run. So I have mapped this service here, chat.service.js. Let's say you have index.js or any of the file which is executable, you need to put here. And then after, you need to give the port. Let's say the first port 3020, which I need to give here. This is the default port which is provided from the Cloudbean. The next, booking service. In a booking service, what I need to do, I need to give 3021. This will be a sequential. Let's say 20, then I need to give 3021. And the next one will be 302. Now I have a 10 application, then I need to be increased one. Let's say 3022, 3023, 3024, and 3025. Something kind of, you can create an application and give the port name and map to your service file. Now we have to save this file, and another part I need to do, I need to be create env file. Env file is important, which is not by default is committed to your GitHub. So there is the example file. I need to rename this .env. Here we are. I have renamed this file, and here I can see there is a default rate limiting blah blah blah. I just need to be change a port 3020, 3021, 3022, and that's it. Again, so this has been done. They are saying I have updated this bean.config.json file as per the instruction. Adding environment, I have added .env file. I have put the port, URL, and everything. Now again, I need to be click on build, pull and deploy, and then after we will check the logs. So again, I'm going to code delivery, and everything's done. Pull and deploy. Let's see what happens. Here is the logs. We have to click on refresh so that real-time log we can see. Okay, so there is app logs could not create folder, failed to start PM2, there is a problem, could not create folder, app log. Okay, got it. Got it. There is a problem. What there is a problem? I made a mistake. Here you can see, guys, we have updated our config.json file where we have updated the application name, port, and the application executed file. And also there will be a log folder where the all application related log will be stored. So let me try to pull and deploy again. And then after we will run our application and check what's the status. So here you can see the deployment is in progress. Here you can check the logs. Let's say the application launched. Here you can say 102, all the 3 p.m. 2 services are live. Now we can run our application. So let me off the tabs, and then after click on access. Here's the application URL you can see, and then after you need to click on this URL, and here you can see chat service port 3020, worker ID PM20, and process ID is 17285, and here you can see another booking service. You have to check 3021 and worker ID PM20, and the finance service again 3022 and worker ID PM20. It means application is live, but if I'm saying honestly, this is running on single core. As of now, this is not a multi-cluster service. Why? There is a reason. We haven't done that configuration which is allowed to run on multi-core services. Why? Let me show you. So we have to add here 2 lines of code, which is we have to define instances. Let's say you have a 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever core available, you can add here. If you don't know, you can just define max. Instances, max, and execution mode will be cluster. The same you have to apply to another application, and the same you have to apply into another application, which is instances and execution mode cluster, which was not defined earlier. That's why your Node.js application was running on a single core, single thread services. Now I have to save again, and once this config file will be saved, you need to come here and need to click on code delivery, and you need to deploy again, pull and deploy. So again, it will be takes a few seconds to deploy, and then after we will check our application, either it's running on a multi-cluster services or not. So here Wow, it's done. Refresh. So here you can see there is a booking. It's running on a 2 workers, 1 and 3. Chat service, 2 workers, 0 and 2. Finance, 4 and 5. Right now, 6 workers are using for 3 microservices. This is the magic when you define a cluster mode and when you define a correct configuration services. Let me try to go to on UI. Let me refresh this page. Here you can see PM21. This chat service is running on PM21. And if I'm saying on booking, then booking is running on PM21, and I'm damn sure PM2 finance services will running on PM20. Right now, it's not running on a single core service. It's properly, beautifully managing from PM2. The smart management from a PM2 services if we have correct optimized configuration over server. Another thing I want to show you how we can manage this entire things from a terminal. So they have given the solution. Let's say if you want to use command line systems, so there will be a ADM tool. It means admin tool, which is application deployment manager from a CLI. So for this, you need to be connect your server through your SSH tool, whatever you having a Mac default or Linux, or so you have to just log in via SSH, and then after you need to run a command sudo adm, and once you run this, then there will be an application list. I have in my server 3 applications running. One is this Node chat services, another one is Node multi-process services, and third one are React, which is my own React application tech deals with Avi. This one is running on 3020, this one is running on 3010. Let's say I need to make deployment, a new deployment over this application. I just need to be select a number. Here they have said that once you run sudo adm, and then after you need to select the app you want to run deployment. One, I need to click on one. Then what happened? If I click on one, then the deployment will be done. Here you can see pulling the latest branch, and then after the configuration file, restarting process. Is this restarting process will be include your Node.js application, PM2 and Nginx. All 3 services will be included in this restarting service, so you don't need to be make any manual action anywhere. Look, your application has been live now. 2 services, again 2, all the 6 workers are running, and execution finished. Your application is live. The next thing, if you want to know that how I can manage PM2 commands manually if there is no PM2 commands, because this is the problem mostly developers are facing whenever they are using render or railway, there is no manual commands they are able to use. They are not able to check their source codes manually, no debugging. But here at Cloudbean, we are having this solution where we can manage these PM2 commands. So you need to do sudo-u, and then after app system user and PM2 status. So let's say I need to use sudo-u, and then after you don't need to be, if you're not able to find your application name, here you will find system name. This is your application name. You need to put here, and then after you need to be, let's say I need to check PM2 status. So I need to click PM2 status. Here you can see with this PM2 command, you will check the status. What is the services? What are the services you're offline, online? What are the status? Everything you will get here. The cluster mode, status online, memory is this. Now, if you want to monitor something, so simply you need to be here PM2 monitor. Here you can see this is the services and process list. The heap size, app data, and the metadata of application. Everything you can see here. So these are all the simple deployment configuration which can help your Node.js application scale to the production, and there is no hustle with the developer, or if you are a developer, there is no need to be. Okay, so these are the simple configuration you need to deal with the Cloudbean. And let's say if you're stuck somewhere, you just need to follow the documentation. If not, you need to go here and you will get Jack. Let's say, hello Jack, I'm not able to deploy Node.js application. Simple, within a minute, someone will connect you over the chat, and if required, they will assist you dedicatedly with the issues. Not like as other hosting providers where they will say, okay, you need to be create a ticket and we will see. Not like that. Okay. So in the next video, we are going to check how I can create the portfolio website, not like LinkedIn to convert of a portfolio website, a real portfolio website where the articles, where the case studies, everything will be there. How I can connect that website to the WordPress, which is called headless WordPress, and easily deploy it to the screen. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.